Last weekend I got to go down to the lake with my daughters. I've got two girls, and we went down for a dads and daughters weekend. And we got to do some great stuff together. We got to jump on the back of a jet ski, go biscuiting, get out in the boat. And we had an amazing time making some pretty special memories. I don't come from a boating family. So the reason we had the chance to do this was because other people chose to be hospitable. They chose to open up their place. They chose to share what they had with us and with other families. And it really got me thinking about the power of hospitality, not just in that kind of environment, but actually to be something that shapes and transforms our society. Hospitality is what Luke Bretherton, who's a professor at Duke University, calls making space for other people. And typically we know how to make space for people when they're our friends, when we enjoy spending time with them. But he says that real hospitality, the kind that's really transformative, is when we make space for people who aren't like us, and particularly when it's going to cost us something. That's the kind of hospitality that I think can really add up to something, because when you receive that kind of hospitality, it's like it calls a response out of you. It's like you have this desire to pass on to other people what you have received and to share that same feeling, that same treatment with them. I've been fortunate enough to be on the receiving end of this kind of hospitality a number of times in my life. And in fact, I think we all have opportunities to practice this kind of hospitality. I think of times when my kids were younger, and there were certainly times when I was that parent, in the supermarket checkout line with the screaming kid, and there were always people around you who would look at you and you could tell that they were thinking, I really wish you weren't here and you weren't disrupting my day. But then there were other people whose expressions were like empathy, they were expressions of encouragement, and you knew that what they were saying was, hang in there, we know you're doing your best, we know it's hard. And sometimes as a tired dad or a tired mum with young kids, that kind of hospitality is what you really need. We all have opportunities to do this, and I think it'd be a great thing if we could look for more of these kind of opportunities, like putting the phone down and actually talking to the barista when they take your order for coffee, using the name of the person in the call center and asking them how their day is going. These probably sound like fairly small, personal kind of acts, and they are, but these kind of small acts are what add up to what I'd call a public virtue, an attitude and a practice that when you put it together actually ripples out and shapes the character of a society. Wouldn't it be amazing if the character of our society was shaped by hospitality?